Good morning. It is time for Coffee Talk. It is Sunday, not too early, 7:09 in the morning, and you see this nice bright light right behind me right here. That means that I have a window in and not a piece of plywood. So that's pretty awesome. All the windows are in, the blinds are back up. I've got a picture of it. I'll put it on the community tab on YouTube. If you care, I don't know why you would care, but if you do, I'll show it to you. Got my Friends of the Tank Museum mug that one of you fine folk sent me. Nice coffee. It's a nice dark roast. So, hey, man, everything is good on a Sunday morning. Nice bright. Now, here's the thing about the bright light behind me. And I've used my awesome flag from Braxton's Flags up there to cover up some of it. When the tree came through the window, it wiped out the blind. And I sort of forgot about that. I was putting all the blinds back up in the house. I took them all down and cleaned them after all the windows got in. Cleaned the baseboards. I was like a proper cleaner yesterday. Started putting it all back together and then realized, you know what? I'm short a blind because one of them got wiped out and I did not think about ordering one. So I've got to do that. My buddy tells me that blindsters.com, you just send the measurements in and they send you the thing right to your door, because I was dreading going to Lowe's or Home Depot in town because they're absolute nightmares right now. Still 10 months after the storm, heaving every single day with contractors and people fixing things, and it's a nightmare to find anybody. And you got to get them and then find the right blind and have them cut it on their machine and package it up, and they're going to be really psyched to have to do that for one blind. Anyway, I'm going to do it online. That's how we do it these days, right? Lots of stuff to talk about today. A lot of stuff going on. Standard stuff, channel news, mission specials, and the subjects du jour. So let's get on with it with the channel news. So how we've been doing channel-wise. Got a couple streams in this week. That was cool. Gave away a Skoda T27. Today we are going to give away a premium. I'll get to that in just a minute. But I'm headed out to D-Day Conneaut. Next weekend I'll be there on Saturday. I leave on Friday. I'll spend Saturday at the site there watching all the festivities for the D-Day reenactment. Hanging out with you guys if any of you can get there. Hanging out with the wargaming crowd, the community guys. So I'm really looking forward to that. They're going to fly me up, put me in a... well, it's a hotel, I guess. I mean, it's not a youth hostel, but we'll see how wargaming treats their talent. Anyway, it's all good. It's a plane ride and it's a hotel, and it looks like a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. Come see me if you're in the area. I'll have some videos from that, all that good stuff when we are done. Replays, I have a lot of replays coming from you guys. Actually, let me show you real quick. It's spelled right here. D-Day Conneaut is what I understand. Conneaut. Just Google it, and you've got all the good stuff there on the website. Tell you exactly what's going on for that festival or reenactment or whatever it is. All right. Where was I? Replays. Got a lot of replays from you guys, and I'm grinding through them as fast as I can. I've got a couple coming up next week, so please keep sending them. Again, another hiccup. They sent out another micro patch. Some of them didn't work. Some of them did. I never know why. But I do have a number of them in the hopper. A couple good ones, a couple good questions on some of those, and I think we're going to get a couple good videos. Definitely some good videos out of that stuff. All right, premium tank giveaway. Here's what I'd like to do on that. First things first. Listen very carefully. I need your World of Tanks in-game name with the comment, or you need to send it to me if you win afterwards. But if I say you won and then I never get your Wargaming or your World of Tanks in-game name, then I can't really get you the item, because Domo's going to end up doing it. And basically how this is going to work is you'll go to the store and pick the tier 8 of your choice. Basically that's in the store. So you get the base package if it's one of those new ones that has a lot of package stuff there, so you're not going to get a $90 package, but you'll get whatever tier 8 base package tank that's in the store at this time, or at the time that you pick. So what I would like to do for that is do a little advertisement stuff for my channel. If you could please write down just whatever it is that you like about the channel. If it's helped you, If you have details of how it's helped you get better at the game, if you just like watching an old guy with a beard talk about tanks, whatever it is. So, and I can then use those kind of bullets and snippets in future advertisements, things like that, with like a name, not the full name, but Bill H or Gary G or whatever. So I would appreciate that. Throw that down there. If you just say I hate you, you're terrible, then all right, you'll be entered. I won't promise you'll win. I won't promise that. Remember Guido Grind. Guido Grind. GUIDO GRIND is my invite code. That will give you a RAM 2, some gold, 3 days of premium, and some personal reserves. So I'll keep pitching that. I'm going to ask Domo someday in the near future how many of those have actually been done. Let me ask you this on that one. Is there a tank you'd rather have than a RAM 2? I sort of felt, hey, let's learn the mobile game, which is kind of how I play. But I think a lot of people might say the Churchill. Is it the 3 or Churchill 1, whichever one is the premium? That's possible. I'm just kind of curious what you guys would rather have. I'm not saying I could change it, but just more of an informal poll of the 3 people who answer. So that should be the definitive answer, I think, actually, once the 3 of you answer me. All right, that is it. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we're going to try to break down all the different things that are happening in World of Tanks right now. So let's jump on to missions and specials. All right, as usual, we are going to rock with the shilling. It is time to shill. Everyone ready to shill? Here we go. Buy a Wargaming t-shirt. I don't know. It's the first thing that's on there. We have the Skoda that is for sale. The Skoda, which is actually a pretty interesting medium. I will have a review of the Skoda coming out here very soon, so expect that in the next few days, or next week, I guess, at the longest. But here it is. It's got the standard packages and the loaded and all the different names for it. The Ultimate and the, what is this, the War Chest. Why is the War Chest better than Ultimate? Wouldn't Ultimate be like the top and then War Chest? I don't know. You can buy the establishment style. That's this paint job style paint. Does that mean it's a 3D paint or a 3D model? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm a little bit confused on all this. As we have paint schemes in the client. We have sometimes styles, and then we've got 3D styles. The interesting part about this to me is it's $7. What? $6.99. $7 for a paint job on a $50 tank, $43 tank. How does that even? I don't know, dude. So power-ups. They're called power-ups. I'm gonna dig a little bit into some of the stuff that's going on here because I think it's related to things we're going to talk about a little while later as far as Wargaming chasing all these standard industry things that are going on. A power-up is a word you use in a lot of other games, right? Especially in console kind of games. Well, they're not power-ups, they're personal reserves. Why even change the name? Why not just say personal reserves? Everybody who plays your game knows what a personal reserve is, especially if they're going to go to the store and buy one. And if they don't, they'll probably look it up because they're interested. But then you call them power-ups, but they're not power-ups. I know that's a small thing, but it kind of drives me crazy. All right. It's a small thing I don't care about, but I just spent 2 minutes talking about it, so there. Okay, T27 Essentials. These are just kits and stuff. What else we got on sale? I just bashed my knee. The Skoda T40, which was the premium that was around before the T27, the only Czech premium, so that's on sale as well. The Panhard is back. We'll get to you one day, wheeled tank, but not right now. Not right now, but we'll talk. What else? Interestingly, there's not a big push for frontline tanks, and frontline starts in about a week. So maybe next week we'll start to see it on the weekend. We'll talk about when it starts. So I guess we're about a week out from that hard sell. For the gold, so here's an interesting thing. We'll get to it in a minute. The quick starter set. There's not much going on in gold. Premium account. So remember last week I talked about potentially buying the Gross Tractor. Well, I did it, and guess what? I did not get the gold. And there was no blurb at the bottom about how you don't get gold. which is what's supposed to happen in that case. So I thought that was interesting. I'm not even going to bother sending in a ticket on that. I get so much great stuff from Wargaming. That's not really the point. But it is, the point really is that, man, you've got to, if that's how you're going to roll with this thing, you got to make sure that little disclaimer gets on there. And it was not on there on that one. And that, I've said it before, the policy itself is irritating to me. And then when you get it wrong like that, if you're going to have a weird policy in one certain situation, please make sure you get your banner put on there, because that's irritating. I would imagine they're getting some tickets from that from other people who may have been caught up on it. I happen to know because I watched the whole thing for a long time, and I've already been stung by it. I understand the policy because I've read it and have been told what the policy is. But if you're not going to put the disclaimer, then other people are going to walk into that unknowing. All right, so we've got the vehicles. Nothing really to talk about here. I've gone through all these things. There's nothing amazing. There is a 30-day with the Panhard. That's not a bad deal. Same thing with the Skoda 40 and then this particular Skoda T27. Usually when they throw premium days on top of the vehicle, not the other way around, it's a decent deal on the premium. So if you're looking for premium days. Break. The grace period for the whole premium counting as World of Tanks premium, no matter where you buy it, or if you buy standard buy standard Wargaming premium, and it being automatically converted also to World of Tanks premium, is over on September 1st. So if you're going to do that, if you play multiple of their titles, then by September 1st, that's the last time you can do that. You're going to have to dig into the exact details of that, because I'll be quite honest, I'm not 100% sure what they are. Like, for example, if I buy World of Warships premium, do I also get World of Tanks premium right now? Or is it just the base World Wargaming premium? They've created a tangled mess with this. Hopefully they're slowly going to sort it out. And I'm afraid what's going to end up happening is it'll just be special premium for each title, and they won't be cross-platform. So we'll see. Where was I? Specials. I think there's not much else to talk about. I've already whined about the things that irritated my poor little person. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the missions, because, man, there is a lot to unpack in missions. So we're just going to hit the missions tab and go through this stuff. Czech holidays is one of the big things that's going on. At first, I thought this was a marathon for the T27, and I looked at it and said, man, this is the easiest marathon for a tier 8 I've ever seen. But it is not for the T27, because the ultimate prize is a crew member, a improved vent, one of these training manual things, and the Jan Zitka 3D style. Well, that's pretty cool. But so you can win a 3D style that only works for your Czech tank, or you can buy a big package that has a different style, because I don't think the flag is the Jan Zitka 3D style. So now I've got two styles for my T27. I don't know what's happening. What is happening? I don't understand what's happening. Anyway, that's the ultimate prize. The good news is you're going to get two. If you bought the T27 and you got the big Czech flag, you're going to get the other one pretty easily, because these are simple, man. The first day was earn 250 base experience 2 times, and it doesn't really ramp up. It costs at least 700 3 times. So that's pretty easy. Going over here, we've got 2,500 base experience in any amount of games. I mean, come on, man. This is pretty cool. And you're getting base. Okay, so here's what's also interesting. You're getting kind of the same thing, because you can do the same missions with any other tank. But if you bought the Skoda, you get these little extra incentives thrown in. You get a training booklet here. This one you get more fragments, and you get the Czech national fragments. So if you're grinding the Czech line, this is really going to be a big boost. We go to number 4. We're talking top 7 3 times, and you get some directives. Looks like an extra directive over the poor relations that are sitting down here slumming in any other tank. You gotta have the T27 to ride, man. If you're not riding in the T27, you get bubkus. 250,000 silver. So you can see it's just a bonus at each level. What else we got here? Another nice training booklet. This is the 100,000 experience one. That's pretty cool. And we keep on trucking. Oh, there's 2 crew members. I like that. There's one at least, maybe there's 4. Are we going to get 4 in a row? I didn't notice that. Wow, look at that. It's 500 base experience 7 times. So it does ramp up, but it doesn't really get too difficult. The 9th one, oh, there's a lot of crew members. I like that. Very nice. Now here's the bummer for me because it's the second day. These last few ones are going to be while I'm at while I'm at D-Day Conneaut. So maybe I can play while I'm there on my account. We'll see what happens. There you go. This is the big training book, right? The 250. It sure is. So nice. And this is to basically, hey, it's the Czech holidays, and we will accelerate anyone who is grinding through the Czech line. So if you're grinding the Czech line, check it out. That was too easy. That just came to me just like that. All right. Tank Festival. Tank Festival has a bunch of events. I think I talked a little bit about it yesterday. But as far as the missions go, it's revolving around these tickets that go to dog tags. We'll get to talk dog tags in just a minute. But you just needed to damage 25 vehicles over the weekend, and you got 30 tickets. So far, it's been 7 tickets a day. This is a 3-day that gets you 25. So math in public, 7, 14, 21. You got 9 extra tickets basically over the weekend, so you're able to knock that out. We'll take a look at my dog tag situation in just a minute. We'll talk a little bit about dog tags because it's surprisingly controversial. I mean, I kind of understand why, but we'll go through that a little bit. Tier challenge missions. This is the weekend mission, and oh, by the way, there's a code for this, which I didn't notice until today, so I'm behind the power curve. The prizes are not amazing, but they're okay. Large kits are always nice. Always nice. But if you do the lower tiers, you just get small kits. So there, take that. So golf has been going on for several months ever since it came out. At least 2. I think this is the 3rd month, actually. This one I can't really unpack. I'm having a little bit trouble with it because the first reward requires you to play the King Tiger. Fair enough. And you get ×2 crew experience while you do it. You do 3 times in 24 hours, and you get this little token guy, which is the Iron Seal. Then you come over to this, and I don't know what the Iron Seal's for because it doesn't show up here, but then you play a battle, and I don't know what the prize is. You just play a battle, but maybe it's just a Germany token. There doesn't seem to be any other prize involved. But you get 15 Iron Seals, and then you can do the second reward, and the second reward is what? I don't know. There's nothing there. Maybe it's just this Germany token. So we've got our 15 Iron Seal tokens, and now we've got our Germany token. And now we're ready for the 3rd reward. And in the 3rd reward, we need 30 Iron Seal tokens, and then we get another Germany token, I guess. So now we have 2, but I don't know what else. And then we get to the 4th reward, and we needed 45 Iron Seal tokens, so that you get 3 a day. I assume that's at least 15 days straight of doing this. Unfulfilled conditions 1, that's this one. And then I get not only do I get a Germany token, I get a heavy tank token. So what, I've got 3 Germany tokens now, right? Did I get a Germany token here? No, I got an Iron Seal token. See, I don't understand what the actual heck is going on. And then I get the final reward, and that is a ×5 experience multiplier. Okay. Only vehicles that can receive ×2 can fight. So I get 1 times. I did all of that to get 1 game of ×5, or is it? Oh, I can do 30 of them. Okay, there we go. That's my final reward. I can get 30 games at ×5. So that's some serious King Tiger captured grinding. I don't know, man. Anyway, let's just move on because that one's got me. That's got me flummoxed. Okay, Tank Jamboree. Tank Jamboree is also Tank Rewards, but this month it's called Tank Jamboree because I don't know why. Domo, why do you do this? I don't know if this is Domo's thing or not. I'm gonna blame it on him. But if you go to the Tank Jamboree or to the Tank Rewards, see, now I'm confused. Now I think it's Tank Jamboree. And we go over here to my second monitor over ever so smoothly. Maybe. There we go. All right, Tank Jamboree, August 8th to September 1st. I kind of yelled that out. This is the point in Coffee Talk where I get really fired up because I've had my 1 cup of coffee and getting pretty excited. Why is the setter driving on like a beach in the Bahamas or something, or maybe in the Indian Ocean? What? That's not the setter. That's the what is that? That's a Hellcat or something. Anyway, I don't know what's going on there. So the good news with this thing is it's pretty darn easy to do. Pretty darn easy to do. You can actually do it because if you look at the website here, oh, now look, I've messed up. If you look at the website here, you only need, let's go down to the bottom, you only need 2,000 total points. And it goes from the 8th to September 1st, which is about 22 days or so. Is that right? How many days are in? 31 minus 8 is 23 days. So really, if you play one battle a day for 20 days, which you have 23 of those to do, you're going to get the 2,000. That's math in public, right? Does that sound about right? I think it sounds about right. And then if you throw on top of it some of these other things, Bounce House and the others, and you get some goodies as you do those, then it'll happen even faster. If you look at me, faux example, I'm at 450, so I'm about already in 3 days to trip the first reward. Now, the rewards are decent. There's a garage slot. Those are always fun to get. You've got some blueprints. This one cracked me up. The M3 Lee. What? Oh, that helps new guys, I guess. But don't use, well, I was going to say don't use blueprints on lower tier, but why not if you got them, right? If it makes you get through a bad tank you don't like faster, then go for it. Lots of different choices. And what they've done is you can go total universal. You can go less universal and some USA national, or you can specifically get that M3 Lee because I know that's what we're all grinding. That one cracked me up. All right, this is a little better. A rammer, gun drive, some other things. That's actually quite a bit of stuff, to be quite honest. Another garage slot and a couple pieces of relatively expensive equipment just for playing 10 days. How it works. Get to 1,500. Look at all the garage slots. That's fantastic. All right, Domo, I did give you crap about calling it a jamboree, but this is good. This is good giftage. Definitely good giftage. Some reserves, whatever flavor of reserves you'd like to get. Another garage slot. And then we get down here. Now, this is cool. And I'm taking complete credit for this. Guido did this for the community. Doesn't matter that probably 2,000 people had the same idea, or maybe 10,000. That doesn't matter. I recorded it right here. Check this out. There's a tier 3, a tier 2, and a tier 2. Now, it used to be tier 5s, so it's a slightly smaller reward, but it's infinitely simpler and easier. Maybe it's not simpler, but it is easier. But watch this. If I have these 3, remember I don't get the gold or anything. I don't even get the silver. I would get the garage slot, but watch this. Zoop. Nice. Something at the end for all people who have all the tanks who aren't going to get the gold that makes them feel good about playing the game and grinding through the reward thing, and they get 3 days of premium in a garage slot. That is a thumbs up from Guido. Well done. Well done. All right. Like they care that I'm saying. Your bonuses will be in the mail, all right, on Monday, okay? So good job, Wargaming guys. There's no bonuses. But somebody will probably try to keep me to that, or some crazy person. All right. Holy cow, where was I? Let's move on. We're going to go ahead and turn off the second monitor. That way when I shift my OBS over, it doesn't show everybody the infinite OBS trick. That's all right, because we do this raw, folks. There's no editing here. Other missions, whatever, and then you've got your premium missions. And that is it for the missions here. But let me see if I missed anything, because there's a lot going on. Let's see, Tank Wars Jamboree talked about. Czech Holidays, Tank Festival. Yeah, let's get to that in just a minute. Frontline episode 7 starts 19 August, so get ready for that. And guess what, folks? Well, you know what? I'm gonna save it for a second. I'll give you the reveal in just a moment. And I talked about WOT Premium. So let's jump back over to the website, and we will talk about both Frontline and the Tank Festival. Okay, this is pretty special. Here we go. You ready for the hard sell? You know that tier 9 tank that you've been kind of wanting for Frontline, but you really just didn't have the time to grind, but it was close to within reach, but you just couldn't quite get there, or maybe you just need a little more incentive. to really open up the wallet a bit, well, hey, they got you covered. Boost your progress. I think you've heard about this a little while ago, but boost your progress. All right. Episode 7 is a coming August 19th for a week to August 26th. All right. Sounds good. Third week of the month. That's what it's been. Episode 7. The regulations. In episode 7, I guess they did not change the technical cooldown, even though they said last time maybe it didn't work. Anyway, they say it works this time from 30 down to 10 seconds. That's the only big change. I don't think the new map is here. I think they're planning on for episode 8, the new map. Had a little hick me up right there. Okay. Here it is, folks. New personal reserves for Frontline. Oh boy. How they work? Well, they give you plus 100% to your Frontline points. So if you got 1200 for General, then you're going to get 2400. That means you're going to be able to grind faster, which means you're going to be able to catch up if you're behind. Well, how do I get them, you might ask? Well, that's a great question. 2 ways. Number 1 is you can play some games, some random battles, and get them. All right, great. I do like that they have given that option, that you will be able to get at least some of these by just playing randoms as rewards. So go to the game client. I think we can all handle that one. Open up your game client. You're going to get 1. Fantastic. Destroy 2 enemy vehicles. Pretty easy. You'll get another 2. Cause 5,000 damage. Well, that's a steep. That's a steep increase. You know, you're good. All right. Open your client. Okay, got it. I did that. Kill 2 tanks. All right. It might take me 3 or 4 games, but I got that. Do 5,000 damage. What? Win 3 times, then it kind of backs off. Where did that come from? That's 5,000 damage. I mean, I'd probably do that one every 50 games, I guess. Maybe. I guess if you go to tier 10, you can probably knock that out pretty quick. And then what I was talking about, the hard sell, you can actually pay gold. In fact, you can pay for up to 10. And they're limit you to a total of 10. So if you paid 1,500 plus 750 Math Republic, that's 2,250 plus 2. So 2,500 gold, and you're going to get 10 more of these things. Whether these will be available on the next episodes, I don't know. But pretty soon, if you're not careful, you're going to end up paying a lot of gold for that free tier 9 tank. Just be warned. If you're starting to do the math, you know, if you can get away with the free ones, that's probably the best way to do it. If maybe you need a few more just to make it easier based on when you can play Frontline and when you think you're going to finish the different prestige levels and all that good stuff, just be careful. You're all adults. I got it. You're all smart people. Just be careful. I'd hate for somebody to pay, 10,000 gold for their free tier 9, but who knows? Maybe it's worth it to you. You know, you got a bunch of gold from Christmas and that you just don't care. You're the honey badger. So that's kind of interesting right there. They did also, one last thing, they did change their policy for what you can do at the end with your prestige points. So say you don't even want any of the tanks. You can trade a prestige point for 300 gold, which there's 10 total, right? So whatever 10 times 300, 3,000 gold is the best you're going to get. Or you get a bunch of bonds, actually, which is pretty good. There you go. So 1,000 bonds total. I don't know if that's really worth it. Playing all of that, get to prestige level 10, and then trade it for 1,000 bonds. Oh no, wait a minute. Prestige points, I think you can get up to 30, right? So maybe that's actually worth a lot more. I think the actual prestige points is a lot more than just 10. There's 10 levels, but then there's the points inside of them. I don't remember how many the total was. So that actually might be kind of interesting. Someone else go do the math. It's more than what I just said. Cool. All right, what was next? Hold on. All right, yes, here it is. So the Tank Festival, which we talked about last week, you can find the thing on that. There's all kinds of different events going on, but the grand event is this thing right here, which I think this is what I did the video for, or a couple of my clips actually made it into the video, but the video either hasn't been released or the company decided not to use it because it has disappeared. Somebody said, they sent me an email and said they had watched one of these videos and it had been embedded in it. It's a bunch of players saying things about World of Tanks, but I haven't been able to find it, and it's unlisted. I have the address. I'm going to download it just for giggles and might show it to you guys later, but it's not, as far as I can tell, it's not officially released by Wargaming for whatever reason. I'm sure that happens a lot. They probably make 10 commercials for every one that they actually release, or maybe more. Who knows? So it wasn't approved, or it's coming later, or I have no idea. But anyway, what you care about is not my little cameos in some crappy, some awesome video. Is sorry, Wargame. I'm just kidding. Don't get mad. Don't get. The script was weird. That's all I'm saying. Maybe that's why it didn't see the light of day, because the script was weird. They actually did a really good job with it. Actually, to be quite honest, when I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? Somebody's got some editing skills and made it happen. It's weird what happens when professionals do stuff, huh? Okay, that is not me, by the way. This is not professional. That's on purpose. We're just having a cup of coffee talking about tanks. I have not had any tangents yet today. I'm going to have to try harder because I feel like there should be a tangent in here somewhere. I think we can get to it later because we have some gaming stuff to talk about later on. Grand event. What do you care about on this? Well, look what you can win. A gaming laptop. No idea what kind. 2nd to 10th place. A premium with the Jan Zitska style. 10 lucky will get a tier 8 premium tank, and I was like, wait a minute. 2nd to 10th gets the tank, and then 11th to 20th gets the tank? No, this is just random. That's cool. What? Aren't these all just basically random? And all participants get Emblem 9. Check that out. That's cool. Emblem 9, whatever that is. Here's the contest. How to enter. Basically, you're going to send a replay to wattreplays.com. Now, are they just going to select a random replay? Entered for a chance. I don't know. Does it have to be a good replay? Probably not. I think you just send a replay. And then your name's in the hat at that point. But do these things, folks, right here. Put Tank Festival and NA server in the description. And feature a random frontline battle recorded between August 7th and September 1st. A lot of you have sent replays to me. Do you know where the replays are? Go to your World of Tanks folder. Open up your World of Tanks folder. It's usually in a folder called Games if you don't touch stuff or mess around. If you do move games into your own folders, then you know how to do this. Open up your World of Tanks. Go to Replays folder. Double click it. And then you will find in there either all of your replays if you have save all replays enabled, or your last replay, or no replays if you're not saving them. If you're not saving them, then you need to go into the client and tell it to save last replay, and that's in the settings, or to save all replays, which you probably don't want. If you're not a big replay person, you don't want all the replays stacking up, but at least save the last one. Then you can go in there, take that, and upload it to. Now that was just me describing it via words and not clicking. Hopefully you can figure that out, but we won't go through it. So that's a pretty good deal. A chance to win a laptop or maybe a T27, yada yada. So do it. Do it. Okay, last but not least, subject du jour. You can see that I have the Irish setter sitting right here. I've got the new Brit Light, the Tier 7 setter. Look at this, folks, 63%. Look at the statistics. Low sample size still at 40 battles, so I suspect this is more of a 55% solo tank for me. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep playing it because I am at 81,000. I'll probably complete the grind today because I've got the ×3. I've got the ×2, and then I've got those ×3, whatever they call them, the optional or additional ×3 things. And I'll be running a booster. So more than likely in about 3 battles or so I'll be done because I need 93 or so thousand, something like that. Maybe 4 or 5 at the most battles. But the point is, after all the hype, after the hypesters put their videos out, flailed around, got all wild-eyed, talked about how bad they are, they're the worst thing ever, you know, the worst thing since moldy sliced bread, all that kind of stuff. Turns out they're balanced. They're not great. They're not great, but they're not overpowered. And I'm going to keep saying this because I'm proud of Wargaming for putting out a new line, and the Skoda T27 as well, that were relatively balanced tanks. In the case of these, they're probably slightly underpowered, but you can do a few additional buffs in the near future and bring them up to snuff. It is nearly impossible to nerf things in this game, especially premiums. Putting out putting out overpowered premiums, they stay, right? They're like a bad penny. They're always coming back to you. So good on them. I like it. I enjoy scouts. This is the setup. I've got a review coming out for this pretty soon, but I'm pretty much pure optics, pure vision control type of setup with binocs, camouflage net, coated optics, and I'm even running the optical calibration directive. I've got food. So really just going pure scout. And I know a lot of people will scoff that and go, hey, that's not meta. Especially the binocs and the camouflage net. You're just really gipping yourself. Well, you know what? I've done pretty good. And I've enjoyed the tank for what it was pretty much designed for in the game, which is to be just basically a pure vision scout. Crew is okay. That is gimping me a little bit. I just didn't really have any good Brit crews out there to throw in there. I did throw in this First Lieutenant Harold Nelson Scott, which is that's a pretty funny name. So he's helping out because he's got some decent skills. I got the camo going on with these guys, but still, I have actually enjoyed this. And I am going to say the hypesters were wrong. They were right in that they weren't great tanks, but as far as terrible, bad, don't play them, worst thing Wargaming released in a long time, all that kind of stuff, don't believe it. Do not believe it. All right. I talked about the gross tractor thing. All right, dog tags. Dog tags. So two things here with dog tags that are sort of related. Dog tags in the game Caliber, which is their new first-person shooter. Wargaming's new first-person. So they're entering into the first-person shooter realm. Well, where do you think dog tags came from? It's like I don't know if it's Call of Duty or whichever game it was. One of them had these things. And that's basically where dog tags are from. Well, what's happening is when you get killed, the dog tag comes up and shows the name of the guy who killed you. Well, why would you show them your dog tag? I don't get that, right? Don't you collect the dog tags of the people you like, kind of like scalps or something? I don't. But the point here with the Caliber in this is, why are we chasing all of these kind of industry standard, everyone else is doing it things, game mechanics? They keep creeping into World of Tanks, and I just feel like we got a bit of abandoning a good thing of what made this game so much different, and now we're just embracing slowly this milquetoast industry standard BS, and it just keeps entering in. Now there's no team damage, that kind of garbage. Now we got dog tags that show up. Now this is a temporary event. On the one hand, I do enjoy that they're doing little things, little mini games within the game, right? You're collecting dog tags, you're moving stuff around, you got tickets. I got it. I think that's kind of interesting, but at the same time, it's just to me indicative of that kind of mission creep where we keep bringing in these first-person shooter industry standard things and throwing them on top of the World of Tanks overlay, and maybe not paying attention to the core gameplay of the game, getting some of the balance knocked out. You're never going to be perfectly balanced. Stuff like that. So it's a minor gripe, really, at the end of the day. But I keep feeling it from you guys. I keep feeling it from the demographic that watches my channel, older gamers. We're largely here because it's not the standard run and gun spastic first person shooter. Wheeled tanks is another example, things like that. So as more and more of the stuff gets stacked up, and I think some of the older gamers getting more and more irritated. Now there's a lot of noise on the forum about, I'm quitting and it's not the game it was. Well, usually 2 days later that same person is back. So it's not a case of we're all just going to walk away tomorrow because of it. And maybe that's what they're counting on. I don't know. I don't know. Give me your thoughts on that. This is a standard topic, and I bring it up a lot. But whenever I see a new iteration of something like that, I feel like I'm going to mention it as something going on in the passing scene. But here's the dog tag thing. You can get, I think, 7 tickets a day or something like that. I already got my 16. Now there are some other bonuses. If you go over here, once you collect X number of components, you get to the next level, and dog tag is amazing. emblem steel dog tags. I guess that's something that goes on a tank. You actually got a T-116, which is a little tier 2 Russian tank, or tier 3. So that's cool. I mean, at the very beginning, you got a little tier 3 tank. But it's been kind of a long time, actually, since they gave away a little tier 3 tank. I think that T-116's been sitting around in the files for a long time. So there it is. I don't know if anyone's even played it. And then we got some other things. We got decals going on. At the end of it, we can get a special style. So that's actually kind of cool. A little special style with little arrows going on there. We've got 6 3-digit number scratched festival. I guess that's very strange. So there are some goodies going on with it. So that at least is interesting. And that's where I get to the whole, it is interesting to have the little mini games within the mini game. I think one of the things that people really don't like about it is this shows up in your face when you get killed. And sometimes you're kind of irritated by being killed, and all of a sudden you get this big dog tag going in your face. I guess it doesn't bother me that much. I'm basically on the side of who cares? You spend a lot of time doing that, and then you're just gonna throw it in people's faces. What else you would do with it, I don't know, to be quite honest. I mean, you could build this whole thing, hey, collect dog tags, but if no one else sees it, then what's the purpose? So I kind of understand, I suppose, why it shows up in people's faces. This is kind of a test run, from what I can tell. It's only a limited event. But there you go, dog tags. Let me know what you think about the dog tags. I'm sort of neutral on it. I'm not as far. There's a lot of people that are mad that, oh, it's insulting that you put the dog tag in my face when you killed me and that kind of thing. And I'm like, it's sort of annoying. But I'm mostly kind of sat here saying, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Not only do I not get the angst, I don't get it. What was the purpose of it? Well, to me, the purpose of it was, this is another kind of FPS industry standard game mechanic that's being thrown at World of Tanks. And I really believe the majority of us sitting out there, like I said, in kind of the demographic that's interested in my channel and the older gamer, are all kind of like, whatever. Whatever, man. All right, where were we? Let's move on. So the last thing then for me is Homefront. And I'm still a little confused what the purpose of Homefront was. I enjoyed it a little bit, but there is no way I'm going to sit around and play a lot of Homefront unless there is a bigger incentive to do so. And that would be unfortunate if the next iteration just is the same kind of grind, but with a different incentive, or more incentive to make people play. I think it splits the community into PvP and PvE, which we do have a stable to maybe slightly decreasing community as far as the numbers go, and enticing more of them to go over to PvE I don't think is a great idea. As a limited event, that was probably the best idea they did there. I certainly would not release Homefront as a standard event. Nobody would be playing it within a month. It's a little bit like Frontline, in that if Frontline was a continual event, I think they'd be having a lot of trouble with their community being split between it, and there would be a lot of fall off because of the one map thing. I think 1 week of it once a month with a long grind going towards a pretty good end game prize was a good idea on their part. And I don't know how many extra events they need at any one time. For example, right now there's so much stuff going on. It's an embarrassment of riches, and I'm fine with that for the most part, but it is a little bit difficult to keep track of. And it's easy to sort of, if you're not as hardcore about playing as I am, it's kind of easy to bounce between them and never really finish any of them. So it does require a bit of attention being paid. And companies do that on purpose. You want to reward those loyalist players with something that they can kind of sink their teeth into. But at the same time, you don't want to drive away newer players who can't figure out what the WTF is going on, right? So it is a bit of a balancing act right there. And the different regions do different things as well. For example, we have the Tank Jamboree, or Tank Rewards, that's overlaid on top of a big tank festival, which is kind of the everyone is getting event. So that makes things very busy if you will. And again, this is not a complaint about having too much to do, but there are some dead periods here and there that sometimes I'm like, I wish there was more going on here. And then all of a sudden, holy cow. And, strap in, because what are we coming up on? We got Halloween coming, Thanksgiving, and we're back into Christmas. And we'll see if we get any more Christmas boxes this year. Well, I think that's it, guys. I've talked as long as I can talk. My wife's got relatives over in England. I've mentioned it before, and one of the young children is a bit of a card, young Harry, and he was it. I think it was Harry. Was talking to my wife was talking to him when he was very young. Asking him questions. Where do you go to school? What do you like? What's your favorite color? Do you like macaroni and cheese? All that kind of stuff. And he apparently got fed up with my wife asking him questions, and he looks at her and says, "Stop talking to me. I've used all the words I'm going to use on you." So there you go. I'm going to stop talking to you. I've used all the words I'm going to use on you. See ya.